Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, as you may or may not know, I am rating your stitches. I asked like 2 videos ago to go to my Discord server and post your stitches in the Stitch channel on Discord, and I, pinged my Discord server yesterday and got everyone to post their stitches, so I'm going to rate them today. I'm going to try not to be too mean, but I'm still going to be pretty mean if I think your stitch deserves it. I'm not going to completely destroy your stitches like last time, but I may or may not with a few of them. But before we get into this video, make sure to go hit the sub button. I'm trying to hit 4,000 by the end of the year. We're already well on our way. We might hit 4,000 by the end of November, who knows. That one's probably unlikely, but we'll get close, which is pretty sick. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So I couldn't really decide where to start at, so I just decided to start at here, which was like around a week ago, with this one, which has quite a few stitches in it, I would say. So let's just start reviewing. First off, top left, we have this Odin Stitch. This is who I was talking about in my last video with what your favorite world says about you. This is the kid whose favorite world is Grizzleheim. Like, the one who was way into runes and paganism in middle school and high school. But you know what? It's a solid stitch. I've never been the biggest fan of the hat, but it's okay. It's okay. You can be you if you want. This stitch over here, I'm assuming, is maybe a death stitch. It could be a storm stitch. Overall, it's okay, but the hat looks absolutely ridiculous. Get a better hat. Like, it's not good with the stitch. But you know what? It's okay. It's solid. I like the robe and the boots, and Umbra does go well with it. Next, this fire stitch. I can't even really say anything bad about it. I think it's a pretty sick fire stitch, not gonna lie. I really like the dragon aspect that you're going for. Forge Master Sword perfectly fits the outfit overall, and I just can't say anything bad about it. Next, we have like this knight in armor kind of cosplay thing. Overall, it's okay. I think that the one stitch matches, but like I wish that this wasn't a torch and maybe like a spear or like a sword. But it's okay. I've never been the biggest fan of the hat. It's just not my jam, but it's all right. So, you know what? You do you. Next, we have the person I was talking about when I was talking about the Mushu people. This is the weeb. This is the person, who constantly says Japanese words, pretending to be Japanese, intersperses it with English. It's just really cringy. But you know what? The stitch is okay. I like the samurai stitch. You can be you. Next, this is definitely a death stitch. I would say that this one is pretty solid overall. It looks pretty darn good. The only thing is I probably would dye the boots black on black just because I think it like matches the outfit a little bit more. I get why you dyed them blue, but I think it would look better if it was black on black. Overall though, pretty solid. Let's move on to the next one. This is like a Jimmy Neutron cosplay, but failed miserably. Like, I hate this hair so much. Whoever wears this hair in the game, you need to stop. It doesn't look good. It never has looked good. Just please stop. Also, I've never liked these face tattoos. They're okay, I mean, I guess, but like, they just don't look good, in my opinion. Robe and boots, pretty basic, but overall, all right. And then the Headmaster Staff, which is also pretty basic, but all right. So I'll give it like an all right out of 10. It's solid. I just hate the hair. Now we have here, apparently this is this Myth Energy Stitch. Pretty solid. Looks pretty darn good. I like it. It's pretty good. I like the boots and the robe and the hat. It looks overall pretty good. Staff, really good as well. I made a better hat choice. No, I disagree with this actually. I think that I like this one better than this one. You also changed the boots. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I like the hat choice better on this one, but I like the boot choice better on this one. So if you combined the hat choice with the last one, the boot choice with this one, and then just leave the robe, you got a solid stitch in my opinion. Next, we have this one. Need some boots for this set. This is either an Ice Wizard or a Death Wizard. If it's a Death Wizard, I don't know about the choice of light blue, but I guess it does match the wand. Pretty solid overall. I love the wand. I love the eye patch. I love the hat. Pretty basic robe. And the boots, you said you need to change. This is an acceptable stitch. If I saw someone with this stitch, I'd be like, okay, it's a pretty respectable stitch. Now we get into the ones in the last few days, which there are a lot of them. So without further ado, let's get into them. We have this one right here. A fire wizard. Pretty solid. I really like the robe. My only problem with this is I actually have 2 problems with this. First off, the Halloween boots don't really match for a few reasons. One, the color isn't the same. Like, you can see it's a different type of purple from the robe. So that is a little bit of a negative in my opinion. Also, the fact that I just don't really like the skull hat. I know that a lot of people do, and I think it's okay. It's just not me. I think it looks a little bit extra and just a little bit meh. I mean, I would say this is a solid Stitch. I would definitely change the boots, but the hat is okay. It can stay. It's just not my jam. Next, we have the NJA over here, who is a Patreon supporter, so I can't insult them too bad, but I can still insult them. This Stitch is okay. I think my major problem with it is that the robe just looks a little bit bulky and a little bit basic. You're giving me a priestly vibe here. Like, you look like a priest, which I don't know how to feel about. You know what? You do you. I think the Stitch is okay. It's fine. I probably would change the wand. I would definitely change the wand, but like, it's okay. Next, we have Pyrosquid with his Stitch, which is pretty solid. Gives me the Groot vibes with the hat. You love to see it. I really love I love this purple mixed with the green mixed with the black. I think that the robe looks really good on purple. Same with the boots. I love the fact that it's the green mixed with the purple. I think the colors complement each other almost perfectly. Really solid Stitch, actually. I really like this Stitch. It's unique. Next, we have this one. You know what? This is pretty solid, actually. I like the boots. I like the robe. They're a little bit basic, but it's fine. The staff matches as well. Then the hat matches. So, you know what? It all matches. It looks good. Solid Stitch overall. I'll give it that. Next, we have a Storm and a Myth Stitch. Storm looks pretty okay. Gives me definitely like samurai vibes. Like, like this person came out of an anime. It's alright. It's fine. I'll give it that. I do really like the robe. I think the robe looks really cool and is pretty unique. So solid on that. And then the Myth one also gives samurai vibes, but you literally like cannot see. I get that there is like a kind of a face thing here, but you kind of just look like a lamp disguised as a human. We have this set, which is okay. The boots definitely don't match. You need to get some new boots. But overall, solid. Oh, I didn't read this, but his favorite flavor of crayon is blue. I do like that. Thank you. I appreciate your input. And next, we have a few Stitches here. We got, like, I guess, I really don't know how to feel about this Stitch. I'm not gonna lie. This is an ooh from me. Every color clashes, and I don't know how to feel about that. Like, there's the black and red boots mixed with, then there's like the little gray portion above that, mixed with the robe, which is red, light blue, and dark blue. Then you have the hat, which is like, has the blonde hair with the black ears. And then you have the wand, which is like this off greenish black color. You know, overall, you know, this set, it's passable. But you need some work. I think if you just stitched the robe to be a different color, it would look a little bit better. It is, it clashes a lot. It's okay, but it definitely clashes. This set is much better, I would say. Pretty solid. I mean, it's a bit basic robe and boots, but it's solid. I'll give it, this one is better than this one. Next, we have a Storm Stitch, which is okay. I've never been the biggest fan of that hair, as I've said, but it looks better with the goat horns than just the hair itself. The staff is pretty cool as well. Overall, pretty decent Storm Stitch. Next, we have this one, which is 6 stitches in one. Oh, wait, I've already gone over these. I think these are the ones I went over at the beginning of the video. I think he just reposted them because you know, he was pinged to repost them. I don't think any of these have changed. This one looks different. If this one is different, this one's pretty solid. I like this one. Overall, a pretty solid. I think this is his Myth. Yeah, Conjurer. This is his Myth. Everything else, I've already gone over. So, let us continue. Max Life PvP Stitch. Okay, it is a low-res image. These are all some low-res images, but it's fine. For a Life Stitch, this is pretty solid. I'll give it that. Max Death PvP Stitch. My problem with this Stitch, and the problem I see whenever I see someone try to use these robes, is these robes do not match with literally anything, and that's a problem. I think KingsIsle just injected them into the game, kind of made that gear set, and then made it to not match anything, which is a problem. I would say it's okay, but it just definitely needs, like, I think the robe should be different, just because I don't think this robe matches anything. Life Jade Stitch, it's alright from what I can see. It's very small on my screen. It is very small on my screen, I can barely see it, but it's alright overall. Next, we have Gumet here with a Fire Stitch, I'm assuming. You know, it's okay. It's okay. I'll give it that. I like the fact that you were sticking to a theme. It's solid in that regard. I have mixed feelings on it, you know? I have mixed feelings. I think it matches the aesthetic. I think the boots leave a little bit to be desired, but like everything else looks okay for what you're going for. I do like it. You know, it's unique. I'll give it its unique Stitch. Next we have a Pirate 101 Stitch, which, you know, that's fine. That's fine. I'll rate your Pirate 101 Stitch. It's solid. I will say it's solid. It's a little bit basic. I know that my pirate has the exact same robe stitch because it's just the best robe stitch in the game. Boots pretty solid. I like them. And then the hat works as well. Overall, just a solid stitch. Bad pick, but whatever. This isn't even a screenshot. This is just a picture on a phone. It's okay. I get what you're trying to go for with the knightly aesthetic. It's all right. I'll give it a solid. I've never been the biggest fan of these boots or robe or hat, but together they look fine at the very least. Next, we have another Pirate 101 Stitch, which is interesting. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just getting Pirate 101 stitches from this guy. That's fine. You know, this is solid. I actually really like this. I like the robe. I like the boots. The hat, I'll leave a question mark on, but the wand is pretty cool as well. Next, we have this one in Mushu. I like these gauntlets mixed with the boots. They're pretty solid. Again, the hat isn't my favorite, but it's all right. Next, we have this one, which is, you know what? I'll say that it's pretty clean. It definitely looks clean. A little bit basic, I would say. I do really like the elegant hat mixed with, what's this, the whimsical robe, maybe? I don't remember if this is called the whimsical robe or not, but maybe it's the jester robe, I think. I like the elegant hat mixed with the jester robe. I don't really like the boots, not the biggest fan, but it's pretty solid mixed with that wand. Overall, looks pretty clean. Next, we have this Stitch right here, which looks pretty solid. I will say, I do love the Witch Hunter aesthetic that you're going for. Like, I don't know if this is actually from the Witch Hunter bundle, but it looks like it could be. Like, I really like the robe and the boots. Then mixed with that hat with the eye patch, pretty solid. The wand perfectly tops off the aesthetic. Then we have this next one. I like the bow. You know, I like the boots, I like the robe. I would say that usually I don't like these boots and robe, but I'd say that they work pretty good with this set. I like the death memorabilia on every part of it. Overall, it's a solid stitch. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'm surprised. I don't think I would usually like those mixed together, but I think they work perfectly. Next, we have this one, which is all right, I would say. It looks pretty good. The only problem with it I have is probably the boots, but overall, it's a solid stitch. Again, the robe is a bit basic, but sometimes you can only do, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Next, we have this Stitch, which is taken with a picture of their phone, like, right up to their screen, which is okay, you know? I'll say it, that's fine. A little bit strange of a choice, but I like it. I think the hat looks really ugly. Same problem with the robe. I said that earlier. The robe doesn't match any other Stitch in this game other than the Stitch of itself, which is a problem. I think the hat doesn't match. The robe looks really cool from what I can see, so I'll give it that. And then the boots don't look like they match, but it's pretty hard to see the boots, I'm not gonna lie. Sword looks okay. Overall, it's an alright Stitch. I think definitely the hat needs a change, but overall it's okay. Weenie is here saying, Stitch, I have participated. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Next, we have this Fire Energy Stitch, which is pretty solid. I'll give it that. I've never been the biggest fan of the elegant boots, but they look all right with this set. You know, I just like the kind of casual attire because it is an energy Stitch, so it's kind of casual. I do like it. So overall, solid. And then the final Stitch. Want to see my brother's Stitch. It looks okay. It looks fine. It's okay. It looks a little bit meh, not gonna lie. The King's Isle shirt is okay, I guess, mixed with the pumpkin hat, which is okay. The elegant boots look definitely pretty ugly, but it's alright. This is a level 20 Warlord character. Solid. It's fine. So, that's it for rating the Stitches. This video is a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but that is okay, going over each of your Stitches. Let me know what you think. What was your favorite Stitch of this video? My favorite Stitch of this video was probably either this Fire one or this Myth Energy set. These two are my favorites. But, overall, they're both pretty solid, I would say. All the Stitches in this video are solid. Those are my two favorites. My least favorite is probably this one, just simply on principle because of the fact that none of this matches. But it's okay. Really, this could just use a dye job. Everything else is fine. Let me know what your favorite Stitch is in the comments below. Make sure to go hit the sub button, support me financially on Patreon, and go join my Discord server if you want to potentially participate in future Stitch rating videos. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporter NJA for supporting me financially on Patreon. I really do appreciate that more than you could ever know. So thank you. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and adios.